Hey, what's up, YouTube? In this video, I'll be sharing with you some SEO tips that you can use while you're doing some sort of research, when you're doing any research for your clients or for any SEO campaigns that you're working with. And I'm going to give you 3 tips today. Okay, and these tips are, I think they are known, but for those of you that don't know, this is a really useful trick that you can use. So first of all, when you go to Google, okay, let's just say, for example, you want to search you want results to come out for a different country, right? So say, for example, if you are living in the US, but you want to search for the results in UK, for example, you want to know sort of how UK's SERPs will be like. All you have to do, it's very simple. There's a settings function over here, right? So just go to settings, click on search settings. And over here, as you can see, region settings, right? So these allow you to sort of change your SERP results in relevancy to the country that you are setting it to. So for example, if I want the SERPs to show up for US, I want to see US based, what it will look like in US, okay? So I just click save, right? And this will ask you to confirm to make sure that you're not a robot. And then now what you do is, let's say, for example, if you search a bookstore, right? So the ads are still going to show up in relevance to the region that you are in. But if you see the search results here will show results that is relevant to the region that you set your settings to. So for example, if now I'm in my own country, which is Singapore, and I am working for a client in US, for example, and I want to do some US research. So all I have to do is just set my settings to US, and I can sort of find the results. And these results are what it will be if I were to be searching this in US, right? So let me just give you an example, another example. Let's just say now if I change it back, okay, and if I change it back to Singapore, okay, and I search bookstore, okay, look, the results are different, right? Even though it's the same search phrase, the results are different. Okay, so there's one very useful tip if you're doing research in another country, for another region, for a client in another country. Okay, so that's first. Now, second, you might have already noticed this, right? But what's happening here, it's, okay, my shirt is disappearing. Cool. Okay, so what you're noticing here is, as compared to, so let me open up another example for you to see. So I want to show you what a normal SERPs look like. Okay, bookstore, okay. So this is what your normal SERPs results, search engine results page look like whenever you search for a keyword, right? And look, you only have 10 results, sometimes 11, sometimes 9, depending on the snippets and stuff like that. But you generally get 10 results before you move on to the next one. Now, there's a setting which allows you to show up to 50, or depending on the settings that you set. So this gives you a more options for you to choose from. Okay, so why is this useful? Okay, now this is useful if you are doing research and you don't want to browse 10 pages by 10 pages at a time. If you want to look at more pages, okay, you can, with this option, look at a bunch of more pages. And what I like to do is, every single time I do research for a campaign or outreach and stuff like that, I will need to export all these pages out from the search result page. And if I were to export all these pages, 10 pages at a time, it's going to take me a lot of time. So what I do, it's very simply, I go to Google and similarly go to search settings. and then look here. So you can filter it to 50 or 100 or 20 to 30. I like to keep it at 50, and then all you have to do is just click save. So now when you search for a key phrase, when you're doing research, for example, you want to find out all the URLs that are ranking for bookstore, right? So there's 50 of these. Now instead of going exporting out 10 by 10 at a time, what I can do is now I can use Ahrefs and I can export everything out, right? And this gives me the list of 50 bookstores. So now I can, put it inside my database, change extract the data that I need, check for the organic, the domain search traffic. I can even filter. So I can even filter and see, which website has the least least traffic going to the domain and stuff like that, right? So this is very, very useful tip. So that is the second tip. Now, the third tip, okay, it's a very common mistake that we have. Now, whenever you are searching for, say, for example, if you're on a SEO campaign and you're ranking for a certain keyword, okay, usually what we like to do is we like to just see our results and see whether is the keyword that you're trying to rank for really on the first page of Google and what position it's on, right? So one of the clients that we are talking to, it's skill polishing. So for example, okay, so in this case, I'm going to just change back the settings. Okay, I usually use these settings when I am exporting results out, but whenever I'm not, I will generally switch back. Okay, so for example, if let's say this is this keyword that you're ranking for, right? And for any reason that you want to check based on, you just want to see where your page is, number one, or if you see based on a tool. So for example, if Ahrefs or a SEMrush, whichever rank tracker tool that you're using, is showing you that your keyword is on the 8th position or 9th position, right? And you want to do a check, right? So usually this is what we do, which is not the correct way, right? So you go and check on scaling and polishing, for example, this is the keyword, and then you just want to see, where's the keyword, right? So for example, if this is our client, for example, okay, so this is on the 1, 2, 3 position, 7th position, 7, 8, 9, 8th position, okay, but whatever it is. But this is not the correct way to check, because what's happening is if you have your browser, okay, set up like that, it's going to show you search results that are relevant to your search history. So for example, if you own a, say for example, if you own a dentalstudio.sg, right, for example, and you want to check your rankings, right? So what happens is every single time when you go to your own website, which is dentalstudio.sg, Google is going to recognize this as your website, and this is, well, they won't recognize it as your website, but they will recognize it as a website that you often visit. And what happens is it will show you the websites that you often visit, frequently, and it's going to show you in relevance to your search history. So this is not really accurate when it comes to, checking for your rankings, because if you're browsing within your browser, right, it's going to show you, say for example, dentalstudio.sg, you go to your website again and again and again. Google is going to show you your website, and it's going to push your website up because of your browsing history, right? So what you want to do is, if you really want to have an unbiased way of checking your rankings, okay, this is actually very simple. Just go open up incognito, okay, and do your searches in incognito mode, okay, because this doesn't really, well, it doesn't really affect your browser history, right? So scaling and polishing, okay, and then let me just show you the difference. Okay, so you can see over here, in this case, I think all is the same because I don't own any dental website. Okay, but look, there's a difference in wait, is there a difference? Dental, dental studio. Yeah, I guess there's not a difference here. Yeah, there's no difference because I don't own any of the website, right? But every single time when you want, oh, what the hell is going on? But every time when you want to check for rankings or you want to check for a accurate SERPs, you want to check for you want to have a better, more accurate data when it comes to checking for your keywords. Okay, always open up incognito mode because this doesn't have your browser history, right? Or if you want to, just clear your browser history and then do a search again. Okay, so these are the 3 tips that I will leave you with. It has been very useful for me. Be using on a daily basis. So let me know in the comments, what do you think? Do you already know about this, or you have no idea that you can actually do this for your SEO campaign? And let me know what kind of tips do you want to see in regards to, is it looking up for research, competitors research, or is it building backlinks, or is it on page, off page, and stuff like that? Okay, let me know in the comment section down below. And that is all for today's video. Till the next video, I will see you next time.